Good evening and welcome to Kempo Basics 101. I'm Shihan Angelo and I'll be your instructor for today. For today's class we're going to be going over a ridge hand strike. Now for some this is not really a basic strike. It's part of our basics when we train in karate. And the ridge hand is actually in the knife hand family. Okay, we're actually hitting with the opposite side of the hand. When you're doing a ridge hand strike, okay, some of the most important things I like to make sure that the thumb is tucked underneath the palm, away from the fingers, because we don't need our thumb when we're striking with this here. And I want to separate the fingers. I've seen people do ridge hand strikes with the hand kind of like this, with all the fingers together. And since I'm striking with the side of the hand, that could cause some damage to the phalange bones. All right, we're knocking the phalanges, so I want to kind of separate them. Also, what I want to do is I want to angle my fingers away from the strike, okay? So if you look at my hand kind of like this, I almost want to kind of angle the fingers away because I'm going to be striking with almost where the crook of the wrist is meets the base of the thumb, right in there, okay? Because a lot of people really don't. I've seen all kinds of things when I see people do this strike. This type of strike, I've seen many people get injured throwing it, not only to the hand but to the elbow. We'll be going over that in a second, how to properly align the elbow with the wrist. But for now, the hand strike, when you look at the ridge hand strike, this is pretty much what your hand should look like. Okay, I separate the fingers, having the thumb tucked underneath, and posture out the thumb underneath, and I want to strike with this part of the hand right here. Okay, so if we look at it from this distance, if I put this hand out and I strike, you can actually see that the fingers are pointing away, not like this. Okay, and one time as I strike, just like that. And if you really want to know what this strike feels like, if you want to actually get some practicality out of this, just get something out like a punching bag or something and actually strike with it, and you'll get a good feel for it. But I've seen a lot of injuries when people do this strike here, because mainly to the thumb and to the elbow area. Now when I am striking, I want to keep my elbow slightly bent, okay, especially when making contact. I had a student one time that used this strike during sparring, and the opponent was actually coming forward, and he stepped to the side and used it like most people do. They'll kind of step to the side and use it, and he straightened his arm out, and the person kind of went by, and that put a real bad injury on his bicep. The bicep actually tore off the arm, and they had to reconnect it. So you've got to be real careful when throwing this strike. Okay, I want to go over, again, target areas when striking with the ridge hand, because whenever striking, it's always appropriate hand strikes to the appropriate targets. Okay, the rule is bone on flesh or flesh on bone when striking. Okay, and since we are using kind of a bony part of the hand, we have to be careful where we're striking with this. So this is a good strike primarily to go to soft areas. I've seen people do it to the temple. It depends on your hand, how conditioned your hand is, or how pain tolerant you are. You can go to the temple with it, okay? I personally would go to the neck with this, throat area, back of the neck. You could strike this way here with it. We go groin with it, this way here. When striking, hand just comes straight out, and we have to bend those fingers down real good. It's a little bit more advanced. I've seen people strike this way with it. If the target was bent over, let's say I did hit to the groin and the target kind of bent over, I'd be hitting to straighten them out, straighten the head out this way here, hitting them upward. In sparring, I've seen people come over the top this way here with it, right on the bridge of the nose. Or we can hit up on the shoulder area, on the collarbone. Now, again, to a bent over opponent, if the opponent was bent over, a finish move coming down this way with it. Okay, very dangerous though if you don't know what you're doing. Again, the elbow comes into play, so you got to really work on keeping that elbow slightly bent at point of impact, or you can find yourself in big trouble real quick. We also use ridge hands for blocking. Okay, you see the hand just like this, just like those that have like number 1 and number 2 block. With the hand closed, just open your hand up just like you're catching water. I can strike this way with it, striking it to the head. I can also think of a ridge hand strike sweeping out a leg. So when I hit the back of the leg area, sweep and push away with my ridge hand. Many times in sparring myself, I've used ridge hand strikes to block kicks. Just not even know I'm doing it, just kind of put my hand out kind of like this, and lead leg roundhouse kicks were easy to block using those ridge hand strikes. So it's a very popular strike in karate. Oh, I don't really see too many people using it correctly. So be real careful when using this strike. And that's my lesson for today on the ridge hand strike. Good luck.